Hmm. I don't know why it's not working. Oh, I fixed it. Looks kind of better. Yeah. All right. Let's get this going. Hmm. All right. So I was thinking about doing some more Star-Lord, but I want to build a deck out of him. Where did I put him? Probably need this. How did this get dirty? Oh, because there's cat paws all over it. These are the villains. All right. So separate all these guys. Alright, so I had a few ideas. Um, mm, I got the wrong thing. No, there it is. Alright, so I want to. Let's see. Um, alright, so I want to build off this, kind of like with this precon. So we had, where are all the blue cards that were in this deck? So we had 3 copies of the Blazing Glory. That increases each Guardian's attack by 2, or attack and thwart by 2 till the end of phase, and then deal 1 damage to each Guardian. Got the target practice that was in the deck. And that when an ally with a weapon upgrade makes an attack, discard target practice, the ally gets 2+2 attack for that attack. Two copies to get ready. 2 copies of Power of Leadership. Then we had Yondu, Beta Ray Bill, Adam Warlock, Air Supremacy, 3 copies. Then 3 laser pistols. And the basic cards we had were Nowhere, CITT, Cosmo, 3 copies of a Pulse Grenade. So Blaze of Glory, I think, is definitely a keeper. Um, so ideally, what we're trying to do is we're just trying to get a whole bunch of allies on the table, and because of Star-Lord's ability, they're guardians. So, and I did some digging, and I confirmed that even when, as soon as I play the card and they hit the field, they become a guardian. So then that is, I get to do the response with nowhere, and I can exhaust it for a card draw. CITT is definitely a keeper too, I think. Being able to throw away 2 resources, so if I have 2 cards that are not good, I can use that to get a ready in there. So I'm thinking that still stays. I don't know too much about how I can make Cosmo work. Um, Pulse grenades, discard pulse grenade. Choose an enemy, discard the top 2 cards in counter deck, deal 1 damage. I don't know, maybe. It's kind of a cute thing right there. So I'm not gonna stick with Cosmo, I don't think. The laser blasters. This increases their attack by 1, gives them overkill. I didn't really use much of that last night. Air Supremacy. So choose up to X enemies, where X is equal to the number of aerial characters you control. So he becomes aerial. So Star-Lord becomes aerial when I get his rocket boots, or his jet boots, I'm sorry, on. So when jet boots are on him, he gains the aerial traits, so this makes this relevant. And then choose up to X enemies where X is the... So if he's the only aerial that I got, I'm only going to be able to do 3. So the only aerial I have in here is Adam Warlock. So if I have Adam Warlock on here, maybe to do some healing. Something like the benefit I see for Adam Warlock is using him to, if I can throw a energy or a wild, I could use that to heal myself if needed. He can also throw damage if I throw a mental. Um, Surprised he doesn't get aerial. Beta raid. Target practice. When an ally with a weapon upgrade makes an attack. Oh, I see what they were going with this. Okay, so by having these allies have equipped with the laser blaster, then playing the target practice. Oh, I think that's like if you click on that, it's supposed to tell me I need to like drink water. I haven't really monkeyed around with all that Twitch stuff yet because I don't know, I just have ADHD. How's your uh how's your day going? Technically I hydrated. I took a sip of my Monster Peach tea. It has advanced hydration, electrolytes, reduce fatigue, increase concentration, vitamins B3, 5, 6, and 12, coconut water, and botanicals milk thistle, and probably other shit that probably killing me. Yeah, Yeah, it's about midnight right now. Figured I probably could do a couple games and then head to bed and start the day all over again. I was actually trying to deck build and outside of the Precon deck that I was testing out yesterday for Star-Lord. I'm not sure what direction I want to go with it. So yeah, I'm in the future then right now. It's now technically January 16th. We're getting a little snow here. Yeah, just a little bit. Kind of want to just put it all together, just put this all back together again and just do the Precon and then make my decision then. Test it out one more time. And then maybe decide what to swap out. Because I think I want to put more I want to put different allies in here. Maybe a Nick Fury, Xavier. I was thinking about putting Cyclops in here because of his ability. Or just put a whole bunch of heavy hitter allies. I'll do that. I'm gonna test it out one game, test it out. Couldn't decide. Now the question is, what villain do I try? Well, I couldn't beat Rhino yesterday. Maybe I'll put Rhino back together and see if I can beat him. Slip Cosmo back in here. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess that's a good idea. There's a lot of look up Daring Lime. How to play Marvel Champions. You'll know you have the right one. It's got like a little lime with here. Actually, I think I gotta hold on. Let's see here. So right here, you can't even see it, can you? Why? Hold on, let me try this again. Oh, 1 second. That's how you do it. Yeah, I don't know why that disappeared. I'm a scrub, so that's how it goes. But if you go on there and you'll see like he's got a whole right on the top of his videos. He's got a whole bunch of like how to play, where to start if you're a beginner. Lots of information, like in detail. Um, all right, I'll be here. All right, so yeah, let's do that. So we're gonna do a villain. I feel like I should just grab Rhino, just see how it goes. And let's do the old bomb scare. 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do standard 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's my obligation. Here are my pursuit pass. All right. All right. So these. Yeah, we all shuffled up. Hero deck shuffled, counter deck shuffled, obligation was added. Got my hero, Peter Quill, recovery 3. Outlaw. Alright, so we're doing just standard 3 Rhino. So Rhino, stage 1. What we got here? Health points. There's 8 health points or 14. So we will put 14 health on him. And my health points are 10. Just dropped my token. Where did it go? Found it. Alright. Alright. So, I'll get this way. So, what's it? 10 health points there. Or right here. Whatever. And we're all set up. So the first thing that we do is we reveal the scheme. Scheme is called the Break-In. So we got Rhino 1 and 2, and then we got the encounter set up with the Rhinos deck. Modular set we're going to use is Bomb Scare. And we'll advance to stage B. And threshold is for the scheme is 7 per player. Once the stage is completed, the players lose the game. So once this hits 7 threat, I lose. And so we got that reveal. We'll go ahead and draw up to our hand size of 6 for Peter. And let's see what we're starting with today. Fix my chair. All right, so we got the Gusty Move. We got a Power of Leadership, Laser Blaster. We have ourselves an Element Gun. And we have Cosmo, and we have our helmet. I'm gonna mulligan these 5. I'll keep the helmet. Alright, so 1, 4, 5. And now that we've already done our mulligans and got our hand all set up, I can use this setup where I can search my deck and discard pile for a copy of Element Gun Upgrade and add it to my hand. And I'll go ahead and just grab it from the discard pile. Alright. How do we want to start this? We have no allies. We had a Cosmo, but I didn't think that was going to do much. So we got our jet boots too, and we have pulse grenades, blaze of glory. Let's flip over into hero form. Let's use pulse grenade and air supremacy to put in our jet boots. Let's use blaze of glory to put in our helmet. Let's deal ourselves an encounter card. So he has an ability that I can do once per round. It's called What Could Go Wrong. It's an interrupt. So when I play a card from my hand, I can deal myself 1 face down encounter card, which I've done, to reduce the cost of a card that by 3. And it's only going to be done once per round. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and put my element gun into play because it's a cost of 3, and that's how much I'm reducing it. So far, this is actually a pretty good setup. I was able to get my boots on and my helmet. So with the jet boots, nice. I can put this. It gives me the aerial trait, and whenever Star-Lord would take any damage, I can exhaust it to prevent 1 damage for every encounter card that's been dealt to me. And then my Star-Lord's helmet, while I'm in hero form, I get +1 hand size for each face down encounter card that's in front of me, up to a max of 3. And then my energy gun, or my element gun, it's restricted, and that means basically I can have 2 restricted weapons on the table. I'm going to use that token too because paid for them. I'm using them. Buy the same token. Great stuff. I love it. Yeah. So that being said, I will go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and attack the villain. I'm going to attack Rhino for 2. So we'll drop him down from 14 to 12. And then what we'll do is we go play his Daring Escape. And what that'll do is it's a hero action event, 0 cost. I'll deal myself another encounter card to go ahead and ready my hero. And it lets me draw 1 card. And we'll draw into another Daring Escape. Now, let's just keep going. So I'll go ahead and attack him again for 2, bring him down to 10. And I'll go ahead and play another Daring Escape and deal myself another counter card. And that'll ready me back up. And I'll draw another card. And we drew into a Nova Prime. You know what? I'm just gonna, I'm feeling reckless tonight. I had a long day. I'm gonna use Nova Prime as a resource to exhaust my energy gun and deal 3 damage to Rhino, dropping him down from 10 to 7. And I guess I'll call that a turn. So, yeah. We'll go ahead and ready everything up. Now, my hand size is normally 5, but because I have 3 encounter cards right here, I can draw up to a hand size of 8. So let's drop to, so we got Nowhere, Beta Ray Bill, Leader of the Guardians, Pulse Grenade, Blaze of Glory, Laser Blaster, Target Practice, and Power Leadership. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, that's 8. All right, so it's now going to be the villain's turn, and we will put 1 threat on the main scheme, and Rhino will activate. He's attacking me with a base of 2. I'm going to go ahead and just take that. So it's going to be a base of 2 plus 1 boost on here. So that would be 3 damage. So that will drop me down from 10 to 7. And then we will deal ourselves 1 encounter card. So this is the encounter card order. So first one is a enhanced ivory horn. This gets attached to Rhino, and he gets +1 for his attack. And we need to spend 3 physical resources to get rid of it. The next encounter card we get is Stampede. So Rhino is going to attack me again. If my character is damaged by this attack, character is stunned. All right, so again, he's going to attack for a base of 2, and that's going to be 2 damage. And then the next encounter card we get is another Stampede, so he's going to attack me again. So this time I'm going to let the attack go through. So it's going to be 2 plus another boost. After this activation resolves, place 1 pursuit counter on pursuit by the past. So he attacks me for 2 again. This drops me down to 3. And then we place 1 pursuit counter on pursuit by the past. And then we get our last encounter card, and that'll be a Sandman. Comes into play. And he comes in with toughness icon. I lived. Barely. Alright. All the bad cards are done. Now it's my turn. Alright, so what can we do? We'll use the Pulse Grade and Blaze of Glory. And we will put in our Nowhere. And then I'm going to use Power of Leadership. And I'm going to use my What Can Go Wrong to reduce the cost for Billy Ray. So I'll deal myself an encounter card. And then we'll put Beta Ray Bill in play. And I will activate the response on my nowhere, which is after a Guardian ally is played, I can draw one card. And we draw into Bad Boy. Um, let's use Leader of the Guardians as a resource. We'll equip a laser blaster to Beta Ray Bill. So that'll give him +1 attack, and he has overkill now. No, I have that token buried underneath all my other tokens. I gotta dig. Found it. All right. All right. So he's got +1 and overkill, and then I'm gonna use. I really don't want to throw this away, but help us get some damage in, I guess. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna exhaust my energy gun. I'm gonna use Bad Boy as a resource, and I'm gonna deal 3 damage to Sandman. And this has this attack gains piercing, so this will actually penetrate right through the tough, and it'll do 3 damage to him. So that's I will do that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually finish the job on him. And I'm going to have Beta Ray Bill attack Sandman. But I'm going to use target practice. And it's an interrupt. So it says when an ally with a weapon upgrade makes an attack, discard target practice. And then that ally gets +2 for the attack. And he has overkill. So he's actually going to be attacking Sandman with 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 damage with overkill is going to attack. So he'll attack Sandman with that. So since he only has 1 8 health point left, it'll be the one will get soaked up, and then 5 damage gets carried over to Rhino. So Rhino will actually lose 5 damage, and Beta Ray Bill will defeat Sandman. And then Beta Ray Bill has a response that after he attacks and defeats a minion, he removes 2 threat from a scheme. So we'll go ahead and clear off the main. And then we'll go ahead and have. I'm actually stunned too. So yeah, fix that. So we're stunned there, and then probably what we'll do is we'll flip down, and then we'll recover 3. And we'll put ourselves to 6. And then we'll just ready up. Oh, and Beta Ray Bill takes 1 damage for consequential for attacking. And that will end our player turn. Right, so 1 threat will go on to the main scheme, and Rhino is going to now scheme because I'm an alter ego. So he's going to be scheming for 1 plus a boost, and that'll be 2. So 2 scheme will go on to the main. So that'll put it up to 3. And then we'll deal ourselves an encounter card. And then the first one will be Nowhere is Safe. Place 1 pursuit counter on pursuit by the past. Then if he has any counters on it, I have to discard an upgrade or support that I control. So put 1 on here. And I think I'm going to... Oh, I forgot to drop my hand size too. So since I'm not in hero form, I don't get the modifier for that. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. All right, so that's my hand. As far as supports goes, we'll just go ahead and toss the helmet because it's cheap. And then we will reveal our next encounter card, and we get the Shocker. So Shocker, his ability is when revealed, deal 1 damage to each hero. I'm in Alter Ego, so I'm not going to get hit with that damage. So he's just going to come into play, which is actually nice because now I got another nice low health minion that Beta Ray Bill can just murder, and then damage will go over to Rhino. All right, so that'll end the counter phase. All right, so turns back on to me, and I forgot to ready back up. At 6 health, I should be getting close to my Adam Warlock that I could use to heal. Probably should get rid of that horn. So we're gonna go ahead and flip over. We're gonna exhaust so we can get rid of our stun. And then what we'll do is we're gonna use CITT, sliding shot, and we'll use air supremacy as 3 physical resources because CITT is a wild. I can choose it to be physical. We'll toss those away and we'll go ahead and get rid of the horn. So now Rhino's back to being a 2 attack right now. Because when I flip him over to the next stage, I don't want him to have that attachment still on. So let's do, what do we want to do here? I think I'll do it, let's do Daring Escape. Deal myself an encounter card. And then we'll ready back up. Draw 1 card. If I go ahead and just have Star-Lord flip Rhino now, or I should have him attack Rhino now. He flips over. We'll have to grab Breaking and Taken, and then he's going to stun me. So I won't be able to attack. Well, I mean, I could use my pistol. Am I being too reckless by doing this? That's the question. Yeah, screw it. Let's hit Rhino for 2, and we'll defeat his first stage. So then Rhino stage 2. When reveal, we search the encounter deck and discard pile for Breaking and Take and Side Scheme and reveal it, and then shuffle the encounter deck. And now he has 15 health points. Oh, I think stun was a stage 3. Yeah, all right, cool. I'm not stunned. Perfect. We just have to deal with Breaking and Taking. So we'll go into the encounter deck. And we will. Hopefully, my camera goes back into focus. No, you don't want to? So breaking and taken, 2 threat, and then 1 additional threat per player. So I'm playing alone. It'll have 3 on it, and it has a hazard icon. How does one fix their camera? I hate this. Mm, oh, I fixed it. I'm a magician. All right. So now we got hazard icon. So I'll get an additional counter card. So now that that's out, and then he has 15. He's got 15 health points now. So what I'll do now is I'll actually get myself an encounter card, and I will go ahead and put another element gun into play. And those are restricted. That one's readied. So what we'll do, how much damage can we do to him right now? If I exhausted both my element guns, that's 6 damage I could do. If I have him, his attack's a 4. This would be a 5, 6. Is it more damage if I just... Hmm. Attack him. I could give him +2. His attack's a 4, so give him +2. That's 6. I could carry 3 damage over to him, then play 1 elemental gun and do. So either way, I'm doing 6 damage. All right, we'll go ahead and we'll exhaust both our elemental guns. I'll throw these 2 resources away. They deal 3 damage apiece, so 6 damage is going to be done to Rhino, and then here So that drops him down to 9. And then Beta Ray Bill will attack Shocker with 4 damage. So 1 damage will carry over to Rhino. So that drops him down to 8. And I can take 2 threat off of a scheme. We'll go ahead and just we'll take it off the main. And then he'll take 1 damage for consequential. Alright. So now we'll go ahead and ready up. And we'll draw to our hand size of 5. We'll drop the card on the other cards. We got Sliding Shot, Gusty Move, Adam Warlock, Laser Blaster, and then Sliding Shot. Alright, so Rhino's turn. Rhino gets a threat on the main, and I'll just drop it on the board. He's going to attack. He's attacking with a 3. We'll just go. We'll play it safe and let Beta block that. So he's going to be attacking for 3 with a boost of 1. So that's 4 damage. So that will defeat Beta. And we'll get counter card and another encounter card. So we're going to reveal the first one. And Hydra Bomber. When revealed, choose to either take 2 damage or place 1 threat on the main scheme. We'll go ahead and just place 1 threat on the main scheme. That's fine. So I'll go up to 3. Our next encounter card is Sinister Strike. So place 1 pursuit counter on the 1 counter on Pursued by the Past, if I could ever talk. Then if it has any counters on it, the villain will attack me. So Rhino is going to go ahead and activate against me again. I'll go ahead and defend this, and that's going to be a base of 3 with the boost card, no boost card. So 3 damage coming at me. I have a defense of 1, so I'll only take 2 damage. So that will drop me down to 4. And then we get our final, oh, look at that. Our final encounter card. False Alarm. When revealed, I'm confused. If I was already confused, I'd discard a card or gain Surge. So it's quite alright. That's actually all we needed. So now we're confused. And that will conclude Rhino's turn. So what we'll go ahead and do is we're just gonna murder this guy. I'm just gonna win. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and play my interrupt. I'm gonna play what could go wrong. I'm gonna go ahead and deal myself an encounter card because I don't care. And I'm gonna play Sliding Shot. I can only play this card if I have my element gun, and that's okay because I have 2. And I'm going to deal 5 damage to an enemy, which would be Rhino. So 5 damage. and I do an additional 2 damage for to that enemy for each face down counter card. So because there's one already dealt to me, it does another 2 damage. So that's going to drop him down to 1. And then I'm going to play another, and then I'll go ahead and play 3 resource cards. And I'm going to go ahead and play another sliding shot, which will do another 5 damage to him, which drops him down to -4. Oh, and I think I have to. Oh yeah, and then another additional 2 damage because of the face down card. So there you have it. Star-Lord defeats Rhino. -6. Oh man, if I only could have done that last night, that would have been so cool. That was fun. It's fun when it's fun when the cards work the way they're designed. And missing. There's all right. Oh, defeated the Rhino. Who's next? Claw. Some minions. Masters of the Universe. Claw. Guess I'll just run with it. Keep rolling with the Precon. Why not? Off to a good start. If I get murdered, then I'm gonna make a justice to it. Alright. Another quick shuffle. And then I'm gonna take a stretch break real quick. And then we'll get this game going. So that's all shuffled up. Hey, welcome back. I'm just about to take a stretch break real quick. I'm about to be like 4 or 5 minutes. I'm just getting this next game set up. But Star-Lord took out the Rhino with his. Cool, cool. All right, BRB. All right, all stretched out. All right, so this next game, I'm going to play against the Claw. I guess I'll just keep rolling with the Precon deck. So, here we go. All right, so everything's all shuffled up. We're going to be playing against the Claw. Standard 3. So he's a Scheme 2, 0 attack. He has a Force Interrupt. When Claw attacks, he gets an additional boost card. His health points are 12. When he goes to his next stage, he'll have a 2 Scheme, 1 attack, and then he still has that same interrupt where he gets the additional boost card when he attacks. And then when revealed on his second stage, I have to search the card deck or discard pile for the Immortal Claw. And basically what that does is it increases his health points by 10. And he has health points of 12 on stage 1. So we'll set that up. Is that 10? No, 12. I'm sorry, 12. So I have 12 on there for him. And we'll reveal the start of it. The first scheme, underground distribution. Search the encounter deck for defense network side scheme and reveal it, and then shuffle the encounter deck, and then go to stage 1B. So we'll go ahead and do that first. Where is it? Defense network. All right, so the defense network, when revealed, place an additional 1 per player threat here, so it comes in with 2. So this will have 3 on it because I'm playing alone. And it has a crisis icon, and basically the crisis icon, what that means is that I won't be allowed to remove any threat off the main scheme until this has been cleared. So I couldn't find a specific tutorial for Marvel Champions that Daniel made, so I just watched a different one by another guy. That works. I also too can explain like the whole process too. So ask questions and I can go ahead and answer for them. Basically, what I'm doing here is this is how you start a game. You know, the encounter deck is whatever the villain's deck is, and then whatever modular we put in, which I put Masters of Evil in. We went ahead and revealed the health point track. So I have the health all, instead of using the dials, I use the token. So his first stage is 12 health points, so I put the 12 over here. Got 10 and 2, so that's 12, and then my health points are down here at 10. I went ahead and did the first requirement from the first stage, which was to pull this card and put into play. So with this being in here, so every scheme has a threat level. So this will start at 2, but the effect on it also is I have to add an additional threat per player. If you see that little person there. So if I was playing a multiplayer game, like say if I was playing with 2 people, I'd be putting 2 threat more on this. But since I'm playing solo, it's only 1. This crisis icon means that if this is in play, any threat that's on here on the main scheme, I can't touch it until this has been cleared. So this will get 2. And then we put on our little acceleration icon over here. And then that's been finished. So we now reveal the 1 to 1B stage. There usually, if there is starting threat on the scheme, it'll be under this number right here, but this one has 0. So every time it's the start of the villain's turn, you add threat to the main scheme. So it's +1 per player. So since I'm playing solo, it's 1 threat at the start of each turn. Um, the threshold is up here. So if since it's 6 per player, so since I'm playing solo, once this main scheme hits 6, it advances to the next stage. And then after that, whatever the threshold is, I lose the game. So since now we've revealed to the underground distribution, the effect is I have to discard cards from the encounter deck until a minion is discarded, and then I have to put that minion into play. So the way that Claw works is he gets an additional boost card when he attacks a player, but he also focuses very heavily on the minions. Does this specific villain start with side schemes already? Because I thought they appear. Yeah, correct. So with him specifically on his kit, his deck, it specifically tells me I have to bring in an additional side scheme into play. Not all of them are like that, but for him specifically, yes. That's why I had to reveal this. So that's one of the requirements. So for the setup, I search the encounter deck for Defense Network, which is this, and it comes into play. So we'll go ahead and do the effect on this, and we'll go ahead and reveal. We'll discard cards from this encounter deck until a minion comes into play. All right, so Weapon Runners is coming into play. Now, some minions will have like effects. Like for example, Weapons Runner, when he gets revealed, he has a surge effect. And what surge means is I actually have to draw another card when it comes down to step 3 of the villain phase, which is the encounter cards. But the terminology, if it's put into play, you don't do the when revealed effect. So this specifically stated that you put the minion in play. So he comes into play right in the beginning of the game, and he has 1 scheme and 1 attack. So now that everything's been, since the requirements for that's been done, everything for the villain setup is done. Now I draw up to my hand size, which is 6 on my alter ego side. Let's see, there's a hand size of 6. My health points are 10. So I'll go ahead and draw my hand up. 4, 5, 6. And then when you draw in the beginning of the game, when you draw your hand, if you don't like any of your cards that you have, you are allowed to mulligan once in the game. So I can go ahead and like discard any X amount of cards and then redraw up to my hand size. So I have a target practice, I have my helmet, a pulse grenade, a laser blaster, another pulse grenade, and a gusty move. Oh, and I forgot to add that's for 3. So I don't have any allies right now, so some of these cards aren't going to help me out. So I do want to keep my helmet. I think what I will do is I will keep. I'll probably keep this gusty move, and I think that's all I'll keep. I'm gonna go ahead and just mulligan these 4. So I'll keep these 2, mulligan these 4 cards, and drop to my hand size. Got our target practice, a sliding shot, blaze of glory, and bad boy. All right, so now that that's all done, now my alter ego, Peter Quill, he has actually a setup ability on his card. And you probably can't see that. Try that. No? All right, so basically what it says is I can search my deck, my discard pile for a copy of my element gun upgrade, and I can add it to my hand and then shuffle my deck. So since I don't have my element gun, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I can go into my deck, look for my gun. There's one right here, and I can put that into my hand. Shuffle up my deck, and then I can start my turn. All right. So first things first, what I'll probably do is I'm going to go ahead and flip over into my hero form. And Star-Lord has a specific ability where any ally, doesn't matter what they are, what faction they are, once I put an ally into play, they are now considered a guardian. So, and then I also have another ability on here called What Can Go Wrong. It's interrupt. So what I can do is I can deal myself an encounter card, and I can reduce the cost of of the card that I play by 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to use that ability and deal myself an encounter card. And I'm going to reduce the cost of my element gun. And I'm going to go ahead and put that right into play. So that came into play for free. It's restricted, so I can restricted means I can only have 2 restricted weapons on the table at a time, unless I have a card that bypasses that rule. So we got that into play, and then we're going to go ahead and so I want to get rid of that defense network, so I don't have to worry about the crisis icon. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to use these. So each card has a cost on it. So Blaze of Glory, for example, is a 2 cost, meaning that I need to pay 2 resources to play it. Each card has its own specific resource. The fist is physical, the purple is mental, and then there's another one that's got a lightning bolt on it that's energy. Correct. So pretty much any card is a resource. So if I want, so for example, I want to play this event card called Gusty Move, but for me to do that, I need 2 resources. So I'm going to take these 2 cards right here as the 2 resources, and then I'm going to go ahead and play it. So what Gusty Move is, it's an event card, and it's a thwart card. It's a hero action thwart. So hero action means I can only play this card when I'm in my hero form. So since I paid the resource cost for that, I'm allowed to remove 2 threat from a scheme, and then I can remove an additional 2 threat for each face down encounter card that's in front of me. So Star-Lord's whole shtick is he likes to, because all different heroes have their own little niche. His is Star-Lord's a high risk, high reward type play style. So these encounter cards are basically the bad cards of the game. These are the things that can really make the game go sideways really quick. But he likes to deal himself these bad cards to do bonuses. So since I have this one bad card on here, I'm allowed to remove 2 threat, and then I can remove an additional 2 for each one that's face down. So I can actually go ahead and just clear all the threat off of that. And this has now been defeated. Because of that, the crisis icon goes away, and now any threat that goes on that main, I'm allowed to touch. And then I'm going to go ahead and use another resource to play my helmet, so I can get my helmet into play. And what the helmet does for me is while I'm in hero, so your hand size. So at the end of your turn, you discard your cards up to what your current hand size is. So my alter ego, I have a threshold of 6, so I can have 6 cards in my hand. But when I'm in my hero form, my hand size is a 5. But because of my helmet, what this allows me to do is I can actually increase my hand size by 1 for every face down card that's on the table, up to a maximum of 3. So next thing I'm going to do is I can thwart or attack. Since there is no threat right now on the schemes, I can go ahead and just go right after the villain or the minion. I don't want to really deal with the minion right now, so the minion has 2 health. My attack is a 2, so I'm going to go ahead and exhaust myself to do an attack, and I'm just going to wipe him off the board. And since I'm exhausted, I can't do anything else. I could use my resource. I could exhaust my gun and use this as a resource to, excuse me, to do damage to the villain. But I really don't want to get rid of this card because it's actually a good support card for me. So I'm going to hold on to this card. So now this is the phase of the game where it's the end of the player's turn. So what we're allowed to do is we are now ready to unexhaust ourselves and ready back up. And then we can discard cards and then draw up to our hand size. I'm going to hold on to this. And I'm going to draw up to my hand size of 5. But because I have my helmet in play and I have a face down counter card, I can actually draw one more and have a hand size of 6. And that is the end of the player turn. So now we're now switching over to the start of the villain's turn. So the first step on the villain's turn is you have to put threat on the main scheme. So it's 1 per player. So we go ahead and we put the 1 threat on there. And then then the next step. Where is the Yu-Gi-Oh? Well, this isn't Yu-Gi-Oh. They're Goku. This is Marvel Champion Star-Lord. We're fighting the Claw right now, and I'm showing Cam Bam how the phases work. So yeah, the boost cards are what comes during when the villain activates, depending on what side of your card. If I'm in Alter Ego, the villain would activate and he would scheme to put threat on the main scheme, and then you would go by his whatever his scheme is. That's his for when you're in Alter Ego. But since I'm in Hero, he has a 0 attack, but he has that effect where he gets 2 boost cards. It's always 1 boost card unless specifically says or more boost cards were put on there. So we've already completed step 1. Villain has the threat on here. So now the Claw is going to activate. So Claw wants to attack me, so he gets 2 boost cards. Now, during this part, this is where I have to decide, do I want to defend and use my defense power to mitigate whatever damage he's going to throw at me, or I can not do that and just take the hit and pray that I don't die. Now I have 10 health points. He has a 0 attack. Claw is known for being very swingy, especially with the boost cards, because he's getting 2 boost cards. But I'm like Star-Lord. I'm a very high risk, high reward type person. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let this attack go through. So I'm not going to defend. I'm just going to take it to the face. So what we do is we flip up our boost cards. So he's attacking with a base of 0. So the cards, if there's boost icons, you add those to the total of his attack. And then the star has like a special effect, and you just do whatever the boost effect is on it. So you always do the boost effects first before you apply your damage. So right now he's attacking me with 2 because there's 2 boost icons in the bottom right corner. And then there's a star here, so there's an effect. So Tiger Shark's effect on the boost card gives the villain a tough status card. So we'll go ahead and we'll give Claw tough. And what that basically means is if I ever attack him, it's basically like a shield. So he's gonna take no damage and it just eats the tough. So it's protecting his health points. And then he's attacking me for 2. So he got a tough and he's attacking me for 2. I chose not to defend, so I take 2 damage. So that'll drop me down to 8. All right, so there are no minions. So if there would have been a minion in play, then the minion's turn to also attack me or scheme, vice versa. So that's why I wanted to get rid of weapons runner. So the villain's done activating. So now we move on to step 3 of the villain phase, which is the encounter cards. Now I already got the 1 encounter card that I dealt myself, but I get 1 unless there was like a card that had a hazard icon, which it looks like this. That would give me an uh, additional encounter card. So I only get 1. So I have 2 encounter cards, and we'll see how these play out. So the first bad card that I'll be getting is Masters of Mayhem. So this is a treachery card. So when it's revealed, each Masters of Evil minion that's on the table would attack the hero that it's engaged with. If no attacks were made this way, you search the encounter deck and discard pile for a Master of Evil minion, and you put it in play, engage with you, and then shuffle the encounter deck. So there are no minions. So we would go ahead and we would search the encounter deck or discard pile, and I have to put 1 in play. Now I gotta choose my poison, I guess. So each Master of Evil, this is part of the modular set that I chose for it. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Melter. He's a 3 attack, 1 scheme, 5 health. His effect is that any engaged player must defend with ally when he attacks. Since I have no allies, I really don't care if he attacks me because he can't kill an ally. So I'm going to put that 1 into play. And we'll shuffle this up. All right, so next, and then my next encounter card is Drawing Near. It's an obligation. So after my turn begins, I have to discard the top card of my deck and place 1 pursuit counter on Pursued by the Past, which is right over here. And I do it's 1 for each printed resource. The only way I can get rid of this card is I have to switch to Alter Ego, and then I have to discard a identity specific card, which is any cards that are from Star-Lord's kit. So I have to discard something like that to get rid of it. So that'll stay on here until I get rid of it. And that is it for the villains encounter cards. So this would actually now technically, this actually ends the round. So villain's turn is done, and everything switches back over to the player. So here we are. Now I have to decide what to do here. I really want to get rid of that. All right, so now it's the start of my turn, and I have a forced response that I have to do. So my turn begins. I have to discard the top card of my deck, and that's 1 resource, so that's gone. Now I have to put 1 counter on Pursued by the Past. And basically, this is building up for my nemesis. So every hero pack has their own specific nemesis. In Star-Lord's case, his nemesis is Mr. Knife. So the way that the Pursued by the Past operates, there are certain cards that from this set that put counters on here. Once this hits 3 more than the number of players, so in this case, once this hits 4, because I'm playing solo, I would have to my nemesis would actually automatically attack me. If they aren't on the table, I would have to flip this over, and I have to actually bring them into the game. And they have their own specific side scheme and their own counter cards. Your nemesis always starts out of play until something brings him in. In Standard 1, there was a card called Shadows of the Past that brings him in, but for this one, for the Standard 3 set that they made, it operates a little bit differently. So now that I finished the obligation portion of it, now it's we'll start my turn now. Um, I think what I want to do, I think I should get an ally out because I don't think I have enough to take him out right. Actually, I think I do. All right, let's get risky with it. Star-Lord, we're gonna go ahead and have Star-Lord attack Melter. He'll do 2 damage to him. And then we're going to play an event card. It's a 0 cost. It's called Daring Escape. So the hero action is deal yourself a face down encounter card, because that's what he likes to do. And then by doing that, I actually can ready my hero back up. So now that I'm readied up, I can actually attack or thwart again. And I also get to draw 1 card. And we draw into a Air Supremacy. I have 2 of those right now. I don't have my Jet Boots, so that's not going to help me. So I'm going to go ahead and use 2 of these resources. And I'm going to go ahead and put in... do I want to do that? Yeah, why not? I'm going to put in my support card called Nowhere. So what Nowhere does is I can only play it if my identity has the Guardian trait, which he does. And I can increase my ally limit by 1. So normally in a game, you can only have 3 allies on the table at once. If you want to put an additional one on there, you'd have to discard one off the board, or wait till one of them gets killed or dies out. And then once I put a Guardian in play, I can draw 1 card. I'm going to use my... oh, how do we want to do this? I could just get rid of him. But I do need to flip down. I'm going to flip... how do I want to do this? I'm going to use my my ability, What Can Go Wrong, to reduce the cost of Adam Warlock. And I can put him into free for free. Now, Adam Warlock is a 3 cost, 1 thwart, 1 attack ally with 3 health. He's technically an aerial and a mystic, but because of Star-Lord's ability, each ally that I have that I control gains the Guardian trait. So as soon as I put him on the table, he becomes a Guardian. So I am allowed to actually respond with Nowhere, and I can go ahead and exhaust it to draw 1 card. And we drew into a Pulse Grenade. And I think what we'll do is let's... what does the energy do? That heals me, to deal 3 damage. I really want to get rid of that card. So what we will do is we're gonna go ahead and we'll attack Melter, and we'll do a damage to him. So that puts him at 3. Now I can choose to respond and do one of Adam Warlock's abilities, which is anytime he attacks or thwarts, I can discard 1 card. And depending whatever the resource icon is, it does a different thing. I don't actually. I'll go ahead. I will choose to do this. I'm going to get rid of this pulse grenade, which has the energy icon. And for energy, I get to heal 3 damage on my identity, which is him. So he's at 8, so I'm going to put him back up to 10 health again. So now I don't have to worry about recovering. And then I'll go ahead and attack again. So he's at 3 health. He has a health of 5, so the 2 damage will defeat Melter. And then I can flip back. I'm going to flip back down to Alter Ego. You're allowed, in this game, you're allowed to switch once per turn uh, to Hero or Alter. There are cards that actually let you also do it for free that you're allowed to do. Now, if I didn't have Adam Warlock heal me, I have a this number up here, the REC on the left corner. It stands for recovery. I can actually, if I wasn't exhausted, I could choose to exhaust myself to recover 3 health points if I want to. But since I'm at full health, there's no point in doing that. Now that I'm in Alter Ego, I'm going to get rid of this obligation, and the only way I can get rid of it is being in Alter Ego. So I have to discard an identity-specific card from my hand. I'm going to go ahead and discard my sliding shot. Any identity-specific card is going to have your face on it. Each hero has 15 cards that go into your deck automatically. Those are their cards, and they always have to be in there. So we'll discard that, and then we'll get rid of this. And there's nothing else I can do. Oh, and also too, anytime an ally thwarts or attacks, if they have these little star symbols, they have to. That signifies that they take 1 consequential damage. So you only get X. You only get on some allies. You can only get a certain amount of uses. So he takes 1 damage, and now he has only 2 health points left, and he's exhausted. All right, so there's nothing else I can do. I'm going to end my turn. I ready everything back up, and since I'm in Alter Ego, I can draw up to a hand size of 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. All right. Perfect. And that will end the player turn. So now it's the start of the villain's turn. So first step, we put threat on the main. So it's at 2. And now he's going to activate. So now, since I'm in Alter Ego, he schemes. And he has a scheme of 2. So he's going to be scheming for 2 no matter what. And his effect is only 2 boost cards if he attacks. So since he's not attacking, he only gets 1 boost card. So he'll scheme for 2 plus 1, so that's 3. So we add 3 threat to the main scheme. So now this is at 5. Once this hits 6, I lose that portion of it, and it goes on to the next scheme on the main scheme. So the activation's been completed. Now we're doing the encounter cards. So I draw myself 1, and we'll reveal those now. So the first bad card is my obligation. Wow, I'm glad I went down to my alter ego. So it's called Banishment. This is actually Star-Lord's obligation from his kit. So give to the Peter Quill player, which is me, and I have a choice. I may flip to alter ego form, but I'm already in there, so I don't need to do that. And I get 2 choices. I can either exhaust my identity to remove this card from the game, or I can discard an element gun, like that's in play. And if I cannot, I have to place 3 threat on the main scheme and then discard the obligation. So, for example, if I chose not to go to alter ego and I stayed in Star-Lord form, if I didn't have my element gun in here to discard from play, I'd have to put 3 threat on the main. But since I'm in alter ego, I'm just going to go ahead and exhaust myself so I can remove it from the game. So in the world of living card games, that actually worked out for me by me going alter ego. It's just how the cards are dealt sometimes. All right, so that's 1 encounter card done, and then we have our final. Hopefully this one doesn't make him scheme, and it doesn't, he gets another minion. So he gets an Armored Guard, 0 scheme, 1 attack, 3 health, and it has guard. So what that means is any minions that have the guard ability is means I can't attack the villain until that's taken care of. Oh, and he comes into play with toughness, so he also has tough. So that kind of slows everything down for me a little bit. So even when I attack him, no matter how strong I am, the tough is going to soak up all the damage first. So that's why they call it an armored guard. Go figure. Okay, and that's all the encounter cards are done, and now is the player's turn. So I got to decide what I want to do here. I think what I want to do, I want to. Okay, so Peter Quill has another ability called Smooth Talker. It's an action. I can choose a card that's in my hand, and I can swap it with the top card of my deck. So I'm going to take this Blaze of Glory card, and I'm going to do just that. And we swapped it in for another Blaze of Glory. So, okay, well, that's good. I'm glad that was super super duper productive. Um, is that I don't know if it's probably sounds super confusing. So if you have any questions or need me to explain that a little bit better, I can. I know. All right, so other than that, I'm going to go ahead and flip back over to Hero, and I want to get rid of the guard. So what I can do is he's got 3 health. So my element gun, if I choose to use it, I can deal 3 damage to an enemy of my choice, and the attack. Oh, awesome! All right, good. You're actually the first person I actually try explaining this game to, so that's um. All right, so what I'm gonna do is actually gonna use my element gun because if I choose to use my element gun, it does 3 damage, but it gains an ability called piercing. And what piercing does is it basically even if a creature has toughness, it does the damage direct, and this just gets deleted, and he still takes the damage. So since I know I'm getting another Blaze of Glory because it's on top of my deck, I'm going to go ahead and use this as a resource, and I'm going to go ahead and exhaust my element gun, and I'm going to do the 3 damage to the armored guard, piercing his tough, and he only has 3 health, so he's defeated. And now there's nothing stopping me from slapping the boss around a little bit. I am exhausted right now, so I can't do anything. Now I do have a main scheme that's about to move over to 6 threat, so I really don't want that to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play an event card, the Daring Escape, and I get to play that for free because it's a 0 cost. So I deal myself an encounter card, and I can ready up Star-Lord, and I can draw a card. So I get another Blaze of Glory. And then what we'll do is I'm going to use the Laser Blaster and the Blaze of Glory card. It's 2 resources. And I'm going to play Gusty Move. And that's a thwart card. And thwart means anything that deals with threat on schemes. So I'm allowed to remove 2 threat off the main, or off a scheme of my choice. And then I can remove an additional 2 for every face down encounter card. So there's 1 on here, so I can take another 2 off. So this would go down to 1. That makes me happy. Do you have a question? Don't you lose when the main scheme reaches the cap? It depends. So with the claw's main schemes, he has two things. He has one A, or it goes all the way to 2B. So once the threshold hits on this one, I lose on this one, and it goes right to the next part of the scheme. And then once it flips over, then this one is the final. This is the end game basically. So once it hits the threshold on that, I'll lose the game. But some villains have one scheme, some could have three. For example, these and also too these villains I'm playing. These are the villains that you'll get if you ever decide to invest and get the core set. The Rhino is like the intro villain to the game, but he's actually like one of the toughest because one, he's swingy and he only has one scheme and the threshold is 7. So you have to be very careful when you like go into alter ego because he could just scheme out in like one turn and just win. He can also too. So that's why I was a little nervous about going down, but it worked out. So now there's only one threat here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm probably getting really greedy doing this, but what does mental do? Deal 3 damage to an enemy. He's got toughness. Let's just go ahead and attack. I'm gonna attack Claw, so he takes no damage because he had tough. That leaves him open. And then I'll go ahead and have Adam Warlock thwart that last threat off so we can clear it. And then I'm going to use his response, and I'm going to discard a let's see right the mental, the purple chemistry looking thing as the resource for his ability, and that lets me deal 3 damage to an enemy. So we'll go ahead and do 3 damage to Claw, dropping him down to 9. And he'll take another consequential damage for thwarting. So he's only got one more use and then he dies. And then we'll go ahead and since I haven't used my what could go wrong ability, I'm just going to go ahead and use that to play Bad Boy support card for free. So deal me another encounter card. And that'll be it. Now, this support card is actually probably the best card for him, or is one of the coolest ones. So it's a hero interrupt. So basically, what that means is it activates immediately as soon as it fills the requirement of what's happening. So if I chose not to defend, because you have to decide before the boost cards are flipped if you're going to defend or take the attack itself or defend with an ally. So with this, um, if I chose to basically take the damage, and then if it was a lot of damage, because it's a hero interrupt, and it specifically says when you would take any amount of damage, I can choose to use that. So what this card will let me do is I will be able to just switch to my alter ego form, draw 2 cards, and take no damage, which I think's pretty sweet. If I could just fix my focusing, that'd be great. Is it fixed? Kind of? No? Maybe? Probably not. I hate this autofocus crap. Right, we'll get to it in a second. All right, so first turn, villain's turn starts. They take one theme or one threat. And then, oh yeah, sorry. Oh, I forgot to ready up and draw my cards. So that's so end of player phase. Ready up everything. Drop to hand size. So my hand size would be a 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And because I have my helmet in play and there's 2 encounter cards, I get to have a hand size of 7. Oh look, my other gun. All right. So now it is. So we already put this one threat on here. So villain's going to attack. Um, Probably could just block with Adam Warlock because I'm going to get another ally into play. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and defend with Adam Warlock before the boost flips. So they flip. So the first one is a star, and after this activation resolves, place one pursuit counter on pursuit by the past. And then the other one is 1. So he's only doing 1 damage. So that will defeat Adam Warlock. And then the activation completed. So now we have to put 1 pursuit counter on that. And then we go to step 3 of the villain phase. We get another encounter card. And now we'll go through all that. So the first encounter card is Weapon Runner. So he's revealed, so he has a surge ability. So that means I have to draw another card. And the claw just got an attachment. It's called Sonic Converter. It gets attached to him, so now he gets +1 attack. And then after claw attacks and damages a character, which character meaning either my hero or allies, and if he does damage to them, it stuns them. And the only way I can get rid of this attachment is if I am in hero form and I spend a energy, a mental, and a physical resource to discard the card. And then a treachery is revealed. When revealed, either spend a mental, energy, or physical resource, or exhaust each character you control. I'm going to go ahead and let that play out, so I'll get exhausted. And then nowhere is safe. When revealed, place 1 pursuit counter on pursuit by the past. Then, if it has any counters on it, discard an upgrade or support you control. And we're getting closer to my nemesis. So 1 more counter, and that's it. And now I have to discard a support or an upgrade that I control. I guess I'm going to get rid of my helmet because it's the cheapest one. So no more fun with that. And that will conclude the villain's turn, and the turn now switches over to me. What do we do? All right, so let's do this. I need to get rid of. I don't like that attachment at all. I don't have that still. I want to use this to get him out. Actually, we're going to be able to do it. All right, so first things first, I have to sacrifice one of my guns, unfortunately. I'm going to do the hero action to get rid of his attachment, and I'm going to fulfill the requirement by discarding an energy, mental, and a energy, mental, and physical resource. And we can go ahead and take that off him because he doesn't need that. Next play I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm going to go ahead and use my What Could Go Wrong ability to reduce the cost of my next card play by 3, which I want to play Beta Ray Bill. He's a 5 cost, so minus the 3 drops him down to a 2 cost. I'm going to play a resource card called Power of Leadership. Now, certain aspects that I'm playing, like this one is Leadership, which are the blue cards. If I play a blue card, I double the amount of resources on this. So that's a blue card. This is worth 2, and then with the reduction from my 3, I can go ahead and get Beta Ray Bill put into play. And since now he's in play, he's considered a Guardian because of my ability with Star-Lord. I can go ahead and trigger my Nowhere support card, which is after a player plays a Guardian ally, which I have done. I can exhaust Nowhere, and I can choose, and I can draw a card. And I'll draw into Nova Prime. Um, what can we do here? I do want to ready up, and then I could flip him. Am I in a position where I want to flip right now? If I use the laser, if I use Nova as a resource, I could put Laser Blaster on Beta. That gives him an attack of 4 and Overkill. If I do Daring Escape, I can draw another card. Let's do that first. We're gonna do Daring Escape. Give me an encounter card. Ready me back up. That's why I let myself get exhausted, by the way, because I had that card in my hand and I knew I was gonna be able to ready myself up from being exhausted. And I get to draw a card into Leader of the Guardians. Okay. So it's cool. Now I don't have to sacrifice Nova Prime. We'll use this as a resource. We'll put a laser blaster onto Beta Ray. So it's an upgrade for allies, and I can only attach it to a Guardian ally, but because Star-Lord's ability, any allies on the table make them Guardians. So now this would get attached to him. And now his attack goes up to 4, and he gains a trait called Overkill. So the way that Overkill works is if he attacks like a minion, whatever the leftover damages to their hit points gets transferred right over to the villain. So Weapons Runner has 2 attack, or 2 health, I should say, and now I have a 4 attack on Beta. I attack the Weapons Runner. So out of that 4 damage, 2 damage soaks up to his health, and the remaining 2 damage will get transferred over to the villain over here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And the reason why I'm going to do that also is Beta has a really fun ability. After he attacks and defeats a minion, he can remove 2 threat off the main. So he's going to go ahead and take out the Weapons Runner. And then 2 damage is going to go overkill right over to Claw. So that drops him down to 7. I get to activate the response to remove 2 threat off from the main scheme. So we'll just clear it off. And then he'll take 1 consequential damage for attacking. And I can go ahead and just attack Claw for 2 with Star-Lord. And now he's at 5. And I'm going to go ahead and hold on to Nova Prime. That's actually Star-Lord's signature ally. He's expensive. He's a 5 cost, but he's got 3 attack and 2 thwart. But say if another minion appears, he has an ability where I can. No, no, there isn't. So this is a so with so I'll explain. So when constructing a villain's deck, the way that what's composed of the villain's deck is the villains' cards that are signature to them, and then a standard encounter set, and then whatever modular that you want to put in. That's where the nice thing comes with this game for customizing. There's different types of modulars. For example, like so, Weapons Runner is actually part of Claw. So these are all Claw's cards. And then you have like cards like the Masters of Evil. This is actually part of the Masters of Evil modular set. There's 7 cards that go into the deck, but they're interchangeable. So I could actually take these guys out and say I wanted to play Rhino, and I could put this into the Rhino deck. So that's where you can customize your experience with the game. There's also a so these are the encounter card. These are the standard. See how it says standard 3 on there? So with the original core box, you would get, yeah. So with the original core box, and I think I have, yeah, my villain cards are out. So these are actually the ones that come with the core box. These are the original 7 they use that go in there. Standard 3 came out when they released Age of Apocalypse. So the nice thing is you can, it doesn't matter if, so when you're building the villain deck, it says you got to put a standard set in there. You don't have to, like, you can pick and choose. Like you don't you can put standard 3 in if you want, or you can put standard 1 or 2 in there. That's all you have to try to fix this. Please fix. Sometimes I can fix it. Just trying to get the focus. Trying to trick it. Should, cool. All right, but he's dead. Yeah. So it's just the villain deck, a standard set. If you're playing expert, there's 3 cards that come with it called expert. I'm playing just the regular standard because expert is pretty hard, and I'm trying to like kind of give a good demonstration, then show the misery that I could be. But it's a good misery. If you like to have a challenge and you don't care about losing and stuff like that, it makes it a little bit more difficult. All right, so then we get the final counter card. But with Pursue by the Past, there's nothing that I can do to get rid of these counters. They stay on there until I get one more, and then they get wiped off, and then they start again. That was so when they made Standard 3, it's basically more designed on you getting your Nemesis. Whereas if you're playing Standard 1, the way that you bring your Nemesis card out is by the card called Shadows of the Past. It works kind of like that, except it gives a counter system with it. Standard 3 came out with the last expansion pack, which was Age of Apocalypse. All right, so last encounter card is, ooh, this is actually going to work out in my favor, the Immortal Claw. So Claw gets 10 hit points, and this has an acceleration icon on it. So that means that now when the villain's turn starts, I'm putting 2 threat on the main scheme until I can get rid of that. And this comes in with 3 threat. So this actually kind of worked out into my favor because now I'm only 5 hit points away from defeating his stage 1 card, and then he goes to stage 2. When he goes to stage 2, I have to search the encounter deck and discard pile for the Immortal Claw side scheme and put into play. Now that that came out, I can actually now just defeat him, and then this card is not going to come out because it is, and then I can go ahead and just get rid of it. So because that came into play, his health points go up by 10. So now he's currently at 15. So I'm just gonna work my way. I forgot to unexhaust these guys. Oh, and I forgot to draw a hand size. So hold on, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, fix that. All right. So sometimes when you get enough games in and you know how the villains cards work, you always be thinking in the back of your mind like, okay, should I wait? Should I do this? What You'll get to a point where you'll like because you can look through the discard pile and you can be like, okay, I know there's going to be how many more activation cards they might have. Like for standard, there would be like the standard card side. You'll have like these cards called advance, which it makes the villain scheme right off the bat. So if you're an alter ego, you probably, and if you don't have the villain confused, you probably wouldn't want to flip down because then you have a higher probability of that card getting revealed and him scheming out. But if you know that those cards are in the discard pile, then you know like, okay, this is my moment to drop down, heal up, do whichever you gotta do. Um, all right. So villain's turn is done, and now it's on to me. So if I can burst out 15 damage right now, that'd be kind of sweet. Um, how would we do this? Now I wish I had my Blaze of Glory card. Um, let's deal ourselves an encounter card, and then we're going to reduce the cost for Nova Prime, and we're gonna pay we'll pay these two to get him out. So now he's in play. Unfortunately, there's no minions, so I can't get rid of a minion because that's his ability. So we got 15 damage, and I think I'm gonna be getting another. I'm about to discard from my deck, so I'm gonna be getting an encounter card anyways. Let's do this. We're gonna go ahead and attack with Beta Ray Bill. So he's got 4 attack, and that'll drop Claw down to 11. And then so he doesn't get to do his little scheme thing because he didn't attack a minion. So he's got that down. I might as well just do him a couple more times. Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna go. Actually, no, I should probably save him in case he gets some minions out. I'll have Nova Prime attack next, and he's gonna do 3 damage. So he'll drop him down to 8. And then I'm gonna play a Get Ready card. It's 0 cost. So what I can do is I can ready up an ally, and I'm just gonna go ahead and you know what? Let's just yeah, we'll just ready him up again, and then we'll attack again for 3. And he'll take another consequential damage. And then And then we'll attack with Star-Lord. Drop him down to 3. And then let's play another Get Ready. We'll ready him up again. We'll attack for 3. We'll defeat his first stage. And then Nova Prime is defeated to consequential damage. Alright, so first stage has been defeated. Claw 2 comes into play. When revealed, search the encounter deck for Immortal Claw. It's already out. And he has 18 health, plus 10. So he's at 28 health right now. And oh, you know what? I also misplayed too. When I put Noah Prime into play, he was a Guardian, so I should have been able to draw a card. And I got my Jet Boots. Cool. And I'm just gonna end my turn there. And we'll ready everyone up. And I'll draw to a hand size of 5, so that's 2. I get another encounter card because I decked out. So anytime you run out of cards with your player deck, you have to deal yourself an encounter card. And then you just reshuffle your deck and you go again. But we're looking pretty good right now. We're still on the first part of the main scheme. And I'm pretty built out, so all right. So we got this our 5. So we got Jet Boots, Sliding Shot, Target Practice, Yondu, and Leader of the Guardians. All right. Start of the villain phase. So 1 threat on the main. There's an acceleration icon. So that gets 2. And then Claw's going to attack. I'm just going to take it to the face. I'm feeling brave right now. So he has an attack of 1. So with our boost cards, that's unfortunate. We have Radioactive Man. So it's an effect because there's no boost icon. So discard 1 random card from your hand. So just look at the camera and we'll try and make this as fair as possible. So it's got to be random. And that will get rid of the card that I wanted to keep. Go figure. And then the other boost card is... Oh, this just turned for the worst. Oh, actually, no, it's just the boost icon. So it's just 1. So, all right, so he's attacking me for 2. Now, I don't have Jet Boots played. Never mind, I can't do it. So, yeah, I'm taking 2 damage. So, it drops me down to 8. Yeah, cool. No problem. You get bored, you want to catch the rest of it, this records and it goes right onto my YouTube. So, I have a feeling I'm gonna win anyway, so we'll see what happens. But I appreciate you stopping by though, Cam. It is getting pretty late. It's 2:04 over here, so I need to kind of wrap this up. All right. You have a good night. What was I gonna do now? Oh yeah, counter card. So I deal 1 to myself, and then first encounter card is the Masters of Evil. When revealed, discard cards from the encounter deck until a Master of Evil's minion is discarded, then put that minion into play, engage with the first player. This also gets acceleration on it. Have a good night. And this gets 3. So we discard, so we get a Masters of Evil, and we got one. How about that? The next encounter card is Sonic Boom. When revealed, either spend a energy, mental, or physical resource, or exhaust every character you control. And I don't have any, so uh-oh, this is not good. Next encounter card, Armored Guard, not ideal. All right, crap. All right, so it's my turn. I'm exhausted. Let's do the encounter card. Play one resource. Get Yondu into play. Exhaust nowhere. Draw a card. Gusty move. That can help. We need to we'll do the two resources. We'll play Gusty move, and we will remove. Let's remove 2 threat, and then an additional 2 because of that. So we'll clear that. Get rid of the Mortal Claw. Actually, no, because that's about to run out. Let's not do that. Let's get rid of this. So that's cleared. And then what we'll do is let's take 2 off of here. And then Yondu will take 1 consequential damage. And I have no more resource cards, so we'll call that our turn. We're going to ready up. And we'll drop to a hand size of 5. Alright, so Claw's going to attack. So we put 2 threat on the main because of the acceleration icon. And then the Claw's going to attack. So we just decked out on the encounter deck. So now this actually gets an acceleration token on there. Then we have to shuffle this back up. And yeah. Oh wait, no, that was his boost card. Whoops. Okay, so boost cards. So he's attacking me for 1. After the activation resolves, place 1 pursue counter on the past. And 3. So it's going to attack me for 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to discard Bad Boy. It's a hero interrupt. When you would take any amount of damage from a villain's attack, discard this card, prevent all damage. Change to your alter ego, draw 2 cards. So we'll prevent the damage. We'll switch to alter ego. We'll draw 2 cards. And then that completes the activation on that attack. And then we put 1 pursue counter. So that goes to 4. And then this will flip over. So it's a forced response. After you place the pursue counter here, if the number of counters here is at least 3 more than the number of players. So there's only 1 player playing, so that would be 4. Remove each counter here. Then if your Nemesis minion is in play, it activates against you. Otherwise, flip the card over. So it's not in play, we flip over. After you flip to this side, find your Nemesis minion and reveal it. Search the set-aside area for your Nemesis side scheme and reveal it. Shuffle your remaining set-aside Nemesis set into the encounter deck and then flip this card over. So now my Nemesis comes into play, Mr. Knife, and he has Retaliate 1. So what that means is anytime I attack him, he will do a damage to me. If I could just find my token. I gotta dig for it. Oh man, it's like right on the bottom. I could just reach it. Got it. Cool. So he has Retaliate, and the first treachery, the engaged player reveals the villain, and the villain reveals each villain phase gains surge. So that won't matter because we already did a treachery. All right, and then he gets a side scheme called the Budding Crime Syndicate. It has a threshold of 2 and a hazard icon, and it has hinder. Hinder means I put additional threat per player on there, so it's going to have 4. So 4 threat goes on, and then we have the hazard icon. Let's throw it over here. And then we'll take the rest of his cards and shuffle it into the encounter deck. Everything is starting to pile up. All right. And then we have one more encounter card. Masters of Evil. Oh wait, there was other things I was supposed to do before that. So before, oh wait, no, this was part of the boost cards. So not that's an encounter card that stays right there. All right, so the activation for that is done. Um, I'm in alter ego, so now Whirlwind will activate, and he'll put 1 threat on the main scheme. So that goes up to 5. Armored Guard has 0. And then Mr. Knife will scheme for 2. This is already at 5, so this pushes. So this has been completed. This just got bad. That's why they call it the living card game. Never know what's going to happen. All right, Secret Renovus. When revealed, discard cards from the current deck until a minion card is discarded. Put that minion into play, engaged with the first player, advance to stage 2B. And then once this hits 8, I lose. So we're going to discard so we get a minion. And Tiger Shark comes into play. And he's going to scheme for 1. And now we go into the counter phase. So I get my 1. And then I get another 1 for the hazard. How does this end? First bad card is a treachery, and it gains surge because of his ability. So surges into Sporody Cunning. When revealed, discard a card at random from your hand, then take 1 damage, place 1 threat in the main. Not good. I'm gonna discard a card. Pulse Grenade. I take a damage. And 1 threat goes on the main. And then we'll complete the Masters of Mayhem. Each Masters of Minion attacks the hero. If no attacks are made, this way, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a Master of Evil minion, put it into play, engaged with you, shuffle the encounter deck. Since I'm an alter ego, they can't attack me, so I have to search and put 1 in play. I guess Melter. Wow, this is a tall order. And then next encounter card, Claw's Vengeance. If you're I'm in alter ego, so when revealed, discard 1 card at random from your hand. Wow, this is not what I was hoping for. And I lost the Air Supremacy. And the last encounter card, another Sporody Cunning. Discard a card at random. Take 1 damage. Put 1 threat on the main. And it's now my turn. Well, that escalated quickly. Man, well, I think I'm cooked. What can we do here? Can't attack the villain because Mr. Tough over here. Gotta get rid of the guard. All right, let's do. I'm gonna use Smooth Talker. I'm gonna switch the cards, and that didn't give me anything I needed. All right, so flip to hero. Let's. We'll use this as a resource to use our element gun. We'll do 3 damage to the armor guard. Has piercing, so he's gone. So the guard's gone. We'll have Star-Lord thwart the Immortal Claw. So that goes away. And he goes down to 18. 18 damage. Um, so we're going to use target practice, and we're going to discard it. And an ally with a weapon upgrade, which Beta Ray build does have, will increase his attack by 2. So currently he has a 4, so he's at a 6. Um, do I have enough to do this? Ooh, I don't think I do. I mean, it's either do or die at this point because I'm not going to be able to survive everything. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to attack. Yeah, we're attacking with Beta Ray. So he has a 4 attack, 5, 6. So 6 attack. We're going to hit Claw for 6, and then I'll drop him down to 12. And then we'll have we're gonna have Yondu attack for 1, dropping him down to 11. He'll be defeated with a consequential. He has 3. And then we're going to play What Can Go Wrong. We're going to reduce the cost of my sliding shot. So we're going to do that, and we're going to play that, and we'll deal 5 damage, and then 2 additional damage for every face down card. So that will drop him down to 5. And we will play Get Ready to ready up Beta Ray. And wow, I can't believe it. That's just. We'll attack again for 4. And then he'll be defeated by consequential. How unfortunate. So that drops him down to 1. That's such a heartbreaking thing. I have no more cards. Wish I had another card. Because I wish I had a ready up right now because I could have won this game. But I can't. We'll ready up. Draw to hand size of 5. Oh, there's my ready up. Yeah, there's a. So 2 threat goes onto the main. 5. Villain will activate. And doesn't matter if I block or not. So see what happens. I guess I'll take it. So it's gonna be base of 1. Weapon runners comes into play. 2, 3. So I lose 3 damage. Takes me down to 3. Whirlwind will attack me for 2. Guess I'll defend. So I have 1 defense. So that's 1 damage that I'll take. So that drops me down to 2. And Mr. Knife will attack me. I can't defend. And I die. And that's Marvel Champions. How unfortunate. Those cards, these cards right here is what, those cards right there just screwed everything up for me. Because even though I had all these like minions on the table, because you think about it, the cards that I did lose, what did I lose? I lost a pulse grenade. I could have had those 2 resources. I could have put that out and used that. Unfortunate. Oh well, it was fun. Yeah, sometimes that's just how the cards play out. But other than that, we're gonna call that. We'll call that a stream. Like to thank everyone who stopped by to check out my stream. If you ever want to check out any other of my stuff, all my streams get sent over also to my YouTube. It's at my name Jeff87. If you like the stream or like any of my videos, if you can give me a like on my YouTube channel at my name Jeff87, or like or follow on my Twitch or not Twitch, Twitter or yeah Twitch, yeah Twitch. I'm tired. Appreciate it. Any feedback is appreciated also for anything. I love to chat it out or any suggestions. Um, Thanks for Cam Bam 5172 stopping by again to say hey. Appreciate it. Also, thanks to my brother, the SS Ultimate Goku, Super Saiyan Ultimate Goku. Thanks for stopping by also. That's cool. And yeah, other than that, everyone have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Stay healthy, and thanks for stopping by. And I will see you on the next one. And remember, it's always accelerating time.